Because I mean, imagine like those guys, like those guys, they don't give you one free point. They don't give you a free point, man. They don't give you a free point.
All right, good morning, everyone. Let's get going here. Okay, U.S. markets put in a really solid session last night. Really pretty much across the board, driven obviously a little bit on the sort of buying the rumor, selling the news. I think confirmation out of the Fed meeting. And we really just got to push across the board. Europe was up really nicely. We also, prior to that, we had a nice PMI data out of China, which really got the cyclical and mining stocks going and things like that. We had a shutdown on the NASDAQ last night for 3 hours due to a quote dissemination between about 12:15 and 3:25. I don't think it's anything significant to read into that. There was no real finger trouble or anything. It was just kind of the exchange went down for a while. So, but worth mentioning that obviously the volumes and things like that weren't there yesterday because of that. It's a chart of the emerging market currencies and the U.S. Treasury rates, and it's a basket obviously of the emerging market currencies. But you can see there the currencies in blue, U.S. Treasuries in red, and you can see how closely the two have tracked each other. I mean, I think this is quite straightforward. As yields rise in the U.S., the emerging market currencies kind of become less desirable, and you get a move out of the emerging market group. So that's something that we've just seen very consistently over the past, I'll call it 3-4 months. It's been a huge influence into the market since we really started to the yields started to rise in U.S. Treasury since May. So I think it's something that we've been talking about this a lot the last 3 or 4 5 days. I'm talking about watching the U.S. 10-year. Obviously, it's important to watch local yields as well. But let's keep an eye on that going forward. I mean, that's obviously a big reason why the rand's moving south. I think eventually that'll kind of go away, and we'll start to see these things slowly start to drift back to normalization once the yields get to a point and sit for a while. All right, Asian stocks pretty much up across the board. We did have China that made a reversal later in the day. I think Hong Kong actually ended up finishing flat, but for some reason China, which was in the green pretty much all day, ended up finishing down about 1.5%. Possibly speculation that they could be implementing new regulations on the banking sector, but not really much there. We've got no corporate action out today, no earnings, and then very little data as well. We've got German second quarter GDP, we got UK second quarter GDP, we've got consumer confidence in the States and new home sales, so very little out on market data today. All right, let's look at the maps. Okay, the first one I wanted to look at is the Aussie. I was going to look at this on the 30-minute chart, and you can have a look at yesterday how we sort of failed right at the end there, and we sold off over 100 points right at the close into 530, which is really interesting. I mean, it looked like we were breaking out, and we were about to break up through new highs. I think this is a level to watch today. This 84.50. We don't get above 84.50 and we start to pull off this level. This could end up looking quite head and shoulderish. Not saying that that's what we've got going, but 84.50 has definitely put in some major resistance yesterday. You can see there. So I think we're going to watch this one going forward. We're very close to taking out new highs. The head's very, very a very small amount above this 84.50 level. In fact, it's only about 100 points higher. So if we get above 85.50, I think we can really call it a bit of a breakout to new highs on the Aussie. So we're at very crucial levels today. We'll have to see how this plays out going forward. Obviously, the rand has a big impact on that, so we're going to continue to watch that over the next few sessions. All right, next one we'll look at is Kumba. We'll look at it on the year chart, and you can see here how we've really as of yesterday, we broke out, and we broke out in style. I think from the early morning session about above 445-ish. That's really where we started to show the breakout here. I mean, this is an incredible. This is a level that we really fought over for quite some time on Kumba, and I think that the fact that we've broken up now, this has been a major laggard compared to the rest of the sector. If you look at some of the comparable stocks like the ARIs, I mean, look how ARIs moved up, how sharply it's moved up just from July. I mean, we're talking about. It's moved up probably 25 to 30%, and I would expect Kumba to start to play catch up a little bit here. It's really got a significant amount of room to retrace. So let's watch this one. I would expect this thing to trade up at least to 480 in the near term and retrace sort of half of this downward move. Okay. Let's look at Standard Bank. You can see there on the longer term chart it's making a bit of a flag, and we want to look at it here. Yesterday, really, it didn't trade great, or it traded better than the rest of the banks, but banking sector didn't trade well yesterday for the most part. But then all of a sudden, at the end, we got this huge spike with the market. You can see there that we've broken out. We'll see if that continues to play out today. But I think above sort of 13, this thing may be trading up and to higher levels on this flag pattern. We'll look at Sasol as well. Sasol also, I mean, we talked about this breaking out of this from the same sort of flag pattern, but we really got a new closing high yesterday. We're looking at a 30-day, so all that action right there is as of yesterday. Here's the previous closing high, which is at 478 or touch below. We closed at 478.86 last night. I think that Sasol definitely can potentially make a move to 500 off of this, and you can really see here the sort of the from where we broke out and where this flag pattern, this consolidation range is. It's almost $20 in height, so we're going to look for the same sort of move to the upside. It'll probably take us up closer to 495 if you want to get accurate, but we generally should move up close to 500 on Sasol. All right, Amplats. Look at this on a year chart. This thing's obviously just had an incredible move to the upside since July, and I think obviously caught a lot of people very, very short. We'll take this all the way up to the wick here on the fib levels, on the Fibonacci retracement levels, and you can see right here at 420 at 61% retracement levels of this downward move. So from January we moved from over 500 to below 280. We're all the way back up here at 420 rather quickly. I think that this is going to be a big level for it to have to overcome here at 420. We may start to see it get a little bit heavier around these levels. So just watch it closely. I know it's squeezing. It's a dangerous short, but keep an eye on it. And the last one I'm going to show is Bidvest. Bidvest really just kind of yesterday managed to break down below this little consolidation range that we've been in for the last month and a half. It's really been kind of a non-event for Bidvest in the last little while. We have dropped this level, potentially can come a little bit lower, and they report on Monday, I believe. And then also, if you look at this a longer term chart, this looks very, very, very much a head and shoulder pattern shaping up here. So let's just keep an eye on this. There could really be some it could potentially be significantly more downside here, especially if it starts to move into this head and shoulder pattern over the next few sessions. And that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot.